Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to call the Community Services Committee meeting to order and ask Councilor Snell to say the invocation for us.
Dear Lord, we want to thank you for this beautiful day you've provided today. Thank you for the chance, Lord, to meet together and do the wishes at your will. Lord, be with us as we go through this committee meeting. We ask for strength, guidance. Lord, be with all of our friends and neighbors who cannot be up and going today. Lord, just thank you for our health and be with us today. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Kelly, would you do the roll call, please?
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Chris Soap.
Here.
Buell England.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Julia Coates. Here. Bradley Cobb. Joe Crittenden.
Here.
Jody Fishenhop.
Here.
Meredith Rayleigh. Janelle Fulbright. Here. Don Garvin. Chuck Hoskin Jr. Hannah Glory Jordan. Curtis Snell.
Here.
David Thornton.
Here.
Kara Cowan Watts.
Oh, honey.
We have one.
Thank you, Kelly. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the January 15th regular meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve those?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. I think Shelley just passed out the special session for January the 14th, and everybody's had a chance to look at those. I would entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We'll move into reports. I believe Norma's first on the agenda, and I was looking at her report, Norma, but you may come up and make some remarks.
So we don't have any remarks this morning.
Okay.
If there's any questions about the report, I guess I will make one remark. Talked with Councilwoman Fulbright just before this meeting, and she talked about Marble City, and in the report, my staff has been in contact with them, and along with Tailhope, they're just working out some, says there's some internal issues that still need to be worked out before those sites can be up and running.
Yeah, so
Yes, just remember in the report you mentioned that the food distribution center had been moved at the Expo Center in Claremore. What was the...
I believe the
reason
Expo
that-
Center had to, there was a request, we couldn't use the location we had been using, and I believe as it turned out, it was a positive. So it was a good thing, and I believe, Councilwoman Watts, you were informed of that, is that correct? Okay, because we just wanted you to know.
And I think I was able to forward it out to my list of folks, the word of mouth alert. It's a much better location where you guys have it.
Right, right. It turned out to be a good thing. We've had that happen twice recently. I think the other one was in, I just can't remember right now, but it was up north, and it had turned out better. I think it was in the Clinton Hoskins area. It turned out better, so sometimes we catch a break.
Yeah, Norma, you've been running short-handed and short-staffed, and are you still there? Are you getting better?
We have, as reported last month, we had hired someone in Salissaw to replace a vacancy, and also in Stillwell. And just the fact that those people are still new, but they should be real assets. They both seem to be doing well. We haven't had as much good fortune for Tahlequah and some of the other areas. We lost another staff person who actually went to another Cherokee Nation program in the area that serves Bartlesville and kind of the western side. So we're trying to recruit there. We also have a person interested in the J area that we've talked with, and we're trying to get that worked out. That's actually would probably be someone from the Housing Authority that will be coming over when we get that worked out. So,
Which leads me into my next question, have you been meeting and working and trying to figure out how we're going to come up to speed when the housing authority programs all hit you in the face.
Well, we'll have specific staff for those programs that come over. We're getting the RAP program, Rental Assistance Program, and that has its own budget with its own staff. Now, we'll have some people we'll need to hire, but we will not be able to start hiring those for a while. Hopefully, I don't know, David, do you recall when we're going to be able, we've still have a board meeting.
May 1st.
Yeah, May 1st is when we'll go live, but there's still another board meeting, I think, that has to happen before we can actually start advertising.
Which brings me to one other question. I've had several calls this week about the housing authority turning over all their rental units to Oklahoma City and forcing the landlords to switch. So you're not getting rental assistance?
That's a Section 8 vouchers.
Okay.
That HUD determined that we weren't eligible to administer any longer.
So how many of those are you?
It was approximately 210 or so. And OPA,
Well, were those numbers in our numbers of
No.
people that were being assisted?
two separate programs.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the tribe's not going to get those?
No,
letters?
we don't even have those anymore.
Okay.
But if you're getting calls on them, they need to contact OPA.
Need to contact who?
Oklahoma Housing Finance. If owners are having trouble getting...
Well, their complaint is nobody told them they were switching. And all they got was a deal that there was going to be an inspection. Well, you and I both know that until you pass that inspection and they do their paperwork, and basically there's a bunch of landlords going to lose a month's rent.
Well, it was not handled very well on the part of OPA. Well, I don't want to blame OPA.
Yeah.
HUD just drug their feet forever, and then it was all of a sudden, OPA's got to take it.
Yeah.
And OPA didn't even have enough time to even pay for January. So we ended up paying for January, and we're going to be reimbursed by OPA. But they're trying to get all those 200-something units inspected by the end of January, and they only allowed themselves a week to do it.
Well, and OPA was never as efficient as the housing authority. I mean, never.
I concur.
Yeah.
But that really wasn't, it's kind of out of our hands. You know, once HUD made the determination that those 210 were going to OPA, we did the best we could to notify, but it still wasn't nowhere near accurate.
And on those 210, were they Indian preference, Cherokee preference, or just
There
open?
was a mixture of some Indian, mostly non, but it was Section 8 vouchers. It was originally come out as welfare to work, you know, and it was such a bad program that a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, HUD did away with the welfare to work part of it, and strictly it was vouchers. It just turned over to vouchers. The idea was to serve families that were eligible for TANF, really low incomes, and you work with them to get them, kind of what Norman's going to be doing with RAP. Work with them to get them increased employment, you know, get them to where they can be employed, that the rent kind of stays the same, and so on and so forth.
So is there a possibility the housing authority will pay the landlord one more round and get reimbursed?
It's an open thing at this point.
Okay.
Councilor Darden?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Norma, I need to ask about OK Nutrition site. Has Cherokee Nation made a deal with them or anything yet to furnish donated foods?
Donated foods? Not that I know of. Okay. I can check on it.
I think we put some money in the budget last time to do that.
Donated foods or the nutrition side?
Well,
Kelly's cold.
to serve, you know, the people.
Okay, that's nutrition. That's the nutrition side. Okay.
Okay.
I remember that Lisa was trying to talk with them, and it may be that they're not at the point they need to be, but on the latest report I had, which was in this, the two that are closest are Hale, Holt, and Marble City. But I'll check with Lisa, try to get something to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Have any more questions for Norma? Norma, I was just looking at some of the minutes. Noticed Mrs. Jordan not here today, so she'd asked a question about any child welfare policy, but...
I talked with her
Okay. So you...
outside of it,
okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Norma. Anything else? You got any more announcements you'd like to tell us?
No, everything's in my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Community Services, Charlie Sullivan. Morning, Charlie.
Morning, everybody. How are you?
Charlie, I think we've got your written report, but there may be some things that you want to go ahead and let us know what you're doing, and you may have some questions for you from the committee.
Well, we have quite a bit of activity going on. Let me start out by saying that we have a good report from the Dry Creek community, starting out with the self-help project on water lines. The main line's complete, and the service lines are complete, and we're doing cleanup now. And the Tail Hope water line is probably, I'd say about maybe 75% complete, because we're actually like about 3 miles on a main line, and we've got to go back and do service lines and then clean up. And then as far as housing's moving along pretty good, but the weather's sort of been hampering us here in the last few weeks. And we're getting ready to do some dirt work in Delaware County. As a matter of fact, we've already started some dirt work up in that area, and actually have put up a couple of houses up in that way. And I think, Harley, you got a email from me saying that we had to reject 2 sites because of the area that the participants had selected to build houses, and it was not suitable sites after working with the other departments like roads. Accessibility was not good, and even the slope of the land, the terrain was not really in terms of environmentally safe to put the septic systems in. So I made the decision to reject those 2 sites. And so, but that doesn't say we took the people off the list. With the assistance of Todd and Angela, we're hard looking for other sites to build those houses for the families in that area. So that's, other than that, everything's moving along fine, except one family that restricted land status. The Bureau has the paperwork, and we're still waiting on him. That's a slow, lengthy process when you go into that area. So, as far as community works, we've selected the sites for those projects, and those should be receiving their funds within the next 3 to 4 weeks, as long as we do all our paperwork for that. So that's another area that we've got to go into.
Charlie, do you have can you just name those projects off real quick for us? I think they're like 14.
Yeah, the District 1, that's here in Cherokee County. Marble, Indian Marble Game Development. Heritage Center is going to be a place where we chose to put the marble game there for them. And Tail Hope, they requested some funds to construct a storage building, handicap accessibility to the community building. Park Hill, they're making preparations to rehab the old Owen School to a community center. And then District 2 would be Watts, that's Adair County. They're making preparations to construct a youth center in Watts. So that's a big plus for them. Marble City, there's a project that's just right outside of Marble. not far from Henderson. David, you might know where this area is, but there's a project called Blue Sky Waterline, and actually that's really a beautiful site where they've chosen to do a project. And actually what they want to do there is be able to bring people that will have a place to stay, that may have to do volunteer work in those areas. We do have volunteer workers come in the summer. Also, that's a place where they can have meetings for their organizations, and the money they requested there was to put a water line in from there to this. I think there's about 3 cabins that are located there in that area. So,
Where is it? By Henderson?
yeah, it's just about maybe a mile on this side, because there's a little old road that goes to the left. But they've been awarded funds to work on that site now. Probably this is probably the second go-around funding. And on their own, they sort of raise money to purchase property and this and that, so to assist them a little bit more to advance their area and the environment there. We've sort of given them some money to bring water into that area. So,
What about the area down at South Park? Anyone's put a study in there to put something like that there?
that would probably to the council to make those recommendations, because as far as that, we just only support community organizations. So as far as the state park, it's out of our jurisdiction, I would say.
Well, that's our park then,
Yeah. Well, that,
basically.
up to you all. And then Marble City Community Organizations, Elderly Nutrition Project, want to help them. Muldrow, Cherokee Community Organization, as you know, Muldrow is getting a new community building, and then they all need some additional money to make improvements with the interior part, so we're giving them some money to help them with that.
You know how much?
I'm afraid you're just going to ask me that. No, I don't.
Sure.
I can get that information to you, David. Yeah. And then District 4, there's, we haven't not received an application from them yet, but I'm sure we will. And then District 5, Hillside Baptist Church, they're asking for a new building. And Twin Oaks Baptist Church, remodeling existing church building there. And District 6, Four Corners, they want to construct a building for their gym equipment. And so they're actually doing some good projects there. So they're looking at in the area of combating diabetes and just good healthy lifestyle. So they brought some exercise equipment there. Cherokee Arts and Humanities Council, Kenwood Community Cultural Grounds, and they're asking for some funds there to help them. District 7, District 8, we don't have an application on them. Well, I'll take that back. District 8, Washington Cherokee Association is cultural enrichment for their organization. And District 9, Blue Jacket, they're asking for some funds to make improvements. I'm not really sure what they're asking for that. And then Loyal Shawnee Ceremonial Grounds, they want to finish their pavilion floor. So,
Councilor Baker.
Yeah, on page 2 of your report, Red Barn Road, Cherokee County placed aggregate base, curb, and gutter construction site. Is that, why would you be doing roads?
that's Michael Lynn gave a report on that yesterday.
Well, okay. So his report and your report's all in the
Yes,
same?
it's all together. They're in
I
the same
see.
department, yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. Jody?
Councilor Snow.
Are we going to be able to help the Cherokee Christian Mission?
Yes, I think actually Judge Forkler has been working with them. I want to say they want to increase the water line, but because also there's a new road that's also in the plans for that area. So I think they work sort of like coordinate with each other. Instead of putting a water line in, they'll usually wait for the road department to come in, and then the water line comes in, because we don't want to have to dig up the water line again if there's something happens to the easements or they have to change the direction the road needs to go to. So, but that's probably down the road. And I've told Judge about that, talked to him about that too. So he's made them aware that it'll be a while yet.
Thank you.
Councilor Thornton?
The water line burnt flat, do you have any idea when?
They're still doing, they're doing the DEQ. We got that permission. The next step is probably just to meet with the people and talk to them about the self-help concept, but we did
Let
get
me know
permission
when you
from
meet with
them.
them.
It's what?
You let us know when you meet with them.
Sure, we'll let you know.
Okay. Any more questions for Mr. Sullivan? Thank you, Charlie. Good report.
Have a good day.
Housing Authority, David Sullivan.
You should have a report there. Don't have a whole lot to add, just been busy with the transition and kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel, and haven't had a lot of time to put a whole lot of thought into rehab, but that's a big department. Hope to get my hands around that and kind of get a better idea of how we're operating and what's all's going on with that in the next few weeks. I really don't have anything to add other than, well, I reported some things last night, but if anybody has any questions, I'd sure be glad to try to respond to those.
Sure. Ms. Fishman?
I got about 3 questions. What's going to happen with the retirement plan?
The board will take that up on Tuesday, next Tuesday. There's only 2 options. One is to terminate the plan, and the other is to merge the plan with the nation. They've been presented information on both options. To terminate a plan means that everyone has access to their funds. They're 100% vested and they have access to their funds. Will everyone do the right thing and try to save those for retirement because they are retirement funds? I think indications are that about 55% of the plan will be gone. So to merge the plan, it's simply, it's that. It merges right into the nations. The nations has said, yes, we will take that. I think the nation's plan is a $50 million plan and ours is a $7 to $8 million plan. So.
Okay, is the people transferring going to get the same pay?
About 90%. There are some that we're classifying as non-comparable. And generally speaking, managers and supervisor level. But not all. There's a few that where we had them classed and graded and so forth, the salary schedule prepared on one level. It didn't grade out quite as high over here.
Okay. And the third question is, taking education and experience into consideration, is that what's helping them get, will that help them get the same pay? Or close to?
The way we kind of looked at this is if their present salary fits within the salary, and there's not a lot of difference between the nation's salary schedule and our salary schedule. So a great many of these, and I don't remember the exact number, there's only about 20 that will have a difference in pay out of 100 and however many, 50 something. Forgot what I was even going to say now. But what we did was, if it was the same, it fit within the scale, they just went right in there at that.
Thank you.
David, last time I asked you to get a report on the roof replacement, did you get that?
Oh, I did not, Harley.
If you would get that, and just email it to all the council members, I think
Okay.
they'd like to see it too. I think we'd ask...
That was on the emergency program.
Yeah. Roof replacements as well as where most of the funds are going for those types of repairs too. And just, if you would, just email it to Shelley and then she can either distribute it or you can do what you want. Okay? Any more questions for Mr. Sullivan? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Move into old business, light heat program update. Norman, you going to do this morning?
Jerry couldn't be with us this morning, so I've just spoken with him. And so far, what he's done is he's spoken to the two largest of our propane suppliers. And historically, as we talked about, you would usually see a drop from winter to summer costs of propane. What he's been told by both is that the drop was pretty small this past year. So we haven't really seen that there was a big difference. What he's doing now is he's in the process of collecting information from 06 and 07 on all of the heating sources that I think have been requested the last time. What he's hoping to do is get that out to you all within a couple of weeks, those results, so that you'll have those to look at the next meeting. That's pretty much where we are. But, one of the things that we have to consider if we talk about pre-purchasing pellets, we'll just take pellets for instance, if we could buy them at a cheaper rate in the summer, we have to then pay for a place to store those. We have to transport them there, which is costly. Then we have to start sending those out all over the jurisdiction, which means handling them again, people to load, the cost of delivery. Not sure that you really save that much. The other thing that we need to keep in mind is in just another month or so, we will lose the person that's been doing those things through the REACH grant. Their grant will be no longer, so we won't have a person to do those things. So you're really talking about, if we were doing that, needing a body, needing a person, which might be an FTE. And when you start adding that in, I'm not sure that we're saving anything at all. It might be more costly. So he'll be looking at those things as well.
Okay. What about a question we've been asked about forward funding. Have you met with Callie or?
Callie reported, she was here the last meeting.
Yeah.
And she said that, what I understood was she did not feel like that was really a good option. For one thing, if you forward fund it, I believe what she said is we have no absolute guarantee that there's going to be light heat from year to year, although it has been, but you never know. So she expressed some concerns about doing it for that reason.
Councilor Baker.
Yeah, and even if that were the case, I would think if we would fund like $200,000 to do the propane, get it taken care of, then we found in the past when we've given additional money that we received additional money above and beyond what our normal allocation would be, and that might be a really good investment in our poor and elderly that where we could make those dollars go so much further. Mm-hmm. Plus, it would put us in line for additional funding from the federal government for the others. And so, that being said, I'd move that we move from this committee to executive finance $200,000 to supplement light heat so that the Norma's group could put $200,000 into summer propane instead of having to wait on winter propane. That's a form of motion.
And both, do I hear a second that motion?
I'll second.
Got a second. Any discussion on this motions on the floor? I think, Mr. Baker, we just heard from Norma while you were out of the room that she didn't feel like there was going to be that much savings on the thing. So we still have a little time, so we may want to do a little bit more research on it. She brought up some good points about storage, transportation, handling, and those things like that. And that's all going to cost money. So anyway, that's just my input on the thing.
And that was really not on the propane piece, that was on the...
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
This is propane.
But also, I'll go back to the propane. What she stated is exactly right. I used to lock in propane at my farm, but anymore you can't hardly lock a propane price in for some reason. I just won't do it. It's like gasoline. But anyway, that's my comments about the propane.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
comment on that is, no, you can't lock in propane for what you need in the dead of winter. But what you can do is you can go buy propane in the summer cheaper than you can buy in the winter. It always goes up. You can't lock it in like you used to for the turkey houses and those kinds of things. But it'll drop 50, 70 cents a gallon in the summer months when there's nobody using it or very few people using it. But as winter hits, and we never get our funding till after like Christmas, and it's the highest that it is all year long. And I'm just saying, we could take, a couple of $100,000, which would cover all of the elders on propane. If my numbers are correct, is that right, Norma? Couple of $100,000, I think that's what Jerry told me.
If that's what Jerry told you, he's the one, I'm sorry, he's not here.
And it's like when you go fill your tank up, if you buy it at $1.80, it's a whole lot better than $2.80, and the tank fills up a lot quicker. And these folks, one tank full on a lot of these elders will get them through the winter. Well, why not fill it up in the summer instead of Christmas when it's when the tank's going to be the high, or the price per gallon is going to be the absolute highest, and we can get credit for chipping in dollars from the nation for our poor and elderly to supplement the federal program, and they turn around and give us extra dollars, so it's like we get a match from the federal government on those dollars.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson.
Bill, with my experience on this propane during the wintertime, they're just putting 100 gallons in these tanks.
That's all
they're not filling them up.
That's all they pay.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Why not, in the summertime, let's put 125 gallons in there for the same price? Something of that nature is what I'm looking at. And I may be wrong. I don't think so. I think I can go call a propane man right now and find out if anybody's that interested in it.
We usually, during crisis, when they come in for crisis, we pay for the smallest amount that they will deliver, and that used to be 100 gallons. Now sometimes but it's gone up. Now they're saying 150. So that's usually what we do for a crisis situation. But I'm open to whatever. What you missed, Mr. Baker, was that Jerry is researching what he gave back to me today is that he's spoken with our two largest propane suppliers, and the drop from winter to summer was very minimal this past year. So if you still want us to, we'll continue to get that information, and we're hoping to send it out in a couple of weeks before the next meeting.
Councilor Stowe.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if we were able to do that, you feel confident that your department could organize that, manage that, and it would be effective in doing that?
Sure, and I think delivery in the summertime is about the only way that you could do that, because otherwise you'd have to have a place to store the propane. They're not going to hold it for you. So
right, yeah, I'm just making sure that you could go in and actually, there wasn't restrictions or...
As far as I know, we'll have to look a little further, but as far as I know, there wouldn't be. Jerry and I talked about that.
Okay.
Councilor Cobb.
I think this idea may be some sound business thinking. I would like to see, I'm not opposed to this, but I want to see storage costs. I want to see, when you're storing that amount of propane, are you getting into some environmental safety issues? I don't even, but that's my problem.
I think I'm the one that brought that up a while ago, Bradley, and I think I was talking about the pellets, but we wouldn't store the propane. We'd actually buy the propane this summer, so it would be just...
Buy the propane and have it delivered.
And I really think, this is a wise idea, if we're going to spend that money in the winter, why not do it in the summertime? So I think I got on the wrong track, I'm sorry.
Well, if that's in the form of a motion, I would
Yes.
I would like to maybe think about tabling that, but I would like to see a plan and then vote on an actual plan. I mean, I'm not opposed to, I mean, I think this may be sound business practice, but I want to see, I mean, exactly how it's going to work.
Okay, thank you. I got Councilor Fishing Hawk, Snail, and Mr. Baker.
I'm just saying that's what we do at my house. I use my money very wisely. I bought a 1,000-gallon tank, and I buy up in the summer, and I don't have to worry about the winter, and I get a lot more for my money, even if it's just 30, 40, 50 cents a gallon.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that's what I do with my money, and I expect to get as much out of Cherokee Nation's money as I possibly can.
Councilor Snail.
You know, a lot of the older folks, so they won't, you'd have to go out and more or less say, hey, you need propane. Because I know a lot of the older people won't, so they about running out, and then they start hollering. We have to, you know, put somebody in the field or let the people know that we're gonna put propane in the summertime through the wintertime.
We just have to use our current, you know, LIHEAP records. That would be all that we could go on. Then what we'd do is those people that are new to us, and when it comes time to apply for LIHEAP, we'd have to work with them separately. But, you know, the largest part are people that we've worked with year after year. So we could take care of the majority. You're never going to be able to hit everyone with a program like this, but it would, as Councilman Fishing Hawk said, it would help us save.
Councilor Baker, then Councilor Britton.
Yeah, and you know, if it's only 30 cents, you know, all of a sudden you, instead of buying 100 gallons, you're buying, 130 gallons or whatever. And then, like I say, it leverages our dollars with the federal government. When LIHEAP does come around, for the new sign-ups and stuff, then maybe they'll get a little bit more money because we have 200 people out of the mix. But I am not opposed to hearing a table of this till the next meeting to give you more time to get those specific numbers, because I mean, we're not going to need to spend any money till July, and but they do have it down to a science, folks. They know within 25 people how many people are going to come to them, especially the elders, that are going to want propane. They got it last year, they got it the year before. They know exactly who they are, where they are, and they can probably even tell you which ones are going to come back to them later for crisis because they didn't get enough propane. And but I just think, it's good business sense to buy in the summer, and we were lucky enough a couple of years ago to have extra dollars that we could supplement the utilities, and then we got that extra bonus of all of a sudden, because we did what we did, the federal government says, hey, you're in line for this extra funding. And so anytime, we can spend $1 and get $1.30 or $1.50 and then get an extra payment on top, why wouldn't we for our people?
Thank you. Councilor Britton and then Councilor Baker. Then we need to call for the question. We'll see that. All right, take one more. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just think there's no storage involved. It's going in the individual people's tanks. It's good business, and the elders, sometimes I think when the gas is low and everybody's running around trying to get propane, we may be in the middle of a dadgum snowstorm or whatever, and it might be difficult to get it out to them in the first place, even if we can get it out there. So, I mean, it'd be kind of nice going into it to have some gas in the tank, kind of like going on a trip, I guess. I think it makes good sense. I like the idea.
It sounds like, it's certain. I think everybody's in agreement for it, but I think we just see some numbers, and I don't think we'd have a problem with it. But anyway, I've got Councilor Thorne. I meant Baker. Sorry about that. I was thinking this Bill Baker. I said, he already talked, but sorry about that.
They say elder, Mr. Baker.
Okay, so
That's right.
all right, sorry about that.
I move the table until we get further information.
Second.
You got a motion to table?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call for the question, then I've got another comment I want to make after.
Clarification.
Yes.
Clarification. Till the next meeting.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor to table this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
No.
I want to give Mr. Thornton, I think did you make a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to give him the opportunity just to say what he found out.
Well, I called Liberty Propane, and that's over here at Cooksey. Mr. Paul Laney owns that propane company. And he's originally from Mulder, called him Cookie. I don't know, you may know, you may not. He's Tim's brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And he told me, this propane, you can't be for sure how much it's going to drop or how much it's going to come up. But just last summer, it was $1.70. In November, it went up to $2.25. They know it's going to drop back down in April, but they don't know it's going to drop to $1.70 or what it's going to go to. But, that's pretty good variance there. And I thought you may be interested in that.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
You bet you. You bet. Okay, Norman, thank you. Emergency housing program discussion, possible action on it. Okay.
I think this has kind of been held over for possible action on more funding, some additional funding. As of yesterday, when I talked with Sharon Lay, she indicated she'd spent $45,000 since October 1. She still had $150,000 available. This particular, the tribal funds that we're using for this, we're trying to use the HOSNA funds first for the emergency. Those that need immediate attention is what we're using this for. And at the present rate of expenditure, I don't think we're going to need any additional funding for this physical year.
Any questions for Mr. Sullivan? Well, David, thank you. I'd like to keep the praise on what our balance is in on emergency funds. I want to make sure that we have those people covered.
Okay.
Thank you. New business, resolution for the Department of the Children, Youth, and Family Services to submit an application. Norm, are you going to do that, or Linda?
Let Linda do that.
Okay.
Those are both hers.
Yes.
Good morning. These two resolutions, number 1 and 2, are to the United States Federal Family, Youth, and Family Services Bureau. Too many families in this name here. But it is 2 federal grants, and the first one is to the Runaway and Homeless Youth Program, and there is a match with that. And this particular grant is to supplement the operations of the John A. Kitcher Youth Services Shelter, just right across the highway here. And the amount for the match is $7,000. The total project cost of this grant is $70,000.
Move to approve.
Move for approval.
Second.
Before we do that, I had Mr. Baker recognize him. Okay, had a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Linda, you want to do the next one then?
Okay, the next one is to the same federal agency, Family Services Bureau, and this is for victims of family violence, and this particular grant is shared with the Kitcher Youth Services Center as well as Indian Child Welfare, and it is a formula grant to tribes. And the minimum amount of that is $100,000.
Is that no match on this one?
No match on this one.
Mr. Baker?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you, Linda. Is that all you had, I believe, Linda?
That's it.
Number 3 is resolution adopting articles of incorporation for the Cherokee Nation Community Corporation. And I believe that Mrs. Coates, would you like to give us an update on it?
You should have the proposed articles of incorporation in front of you, and I first of all want to apologize to the council for the continuing confusion over this about whether a resolution is needed from the council or not. It turns out that it is. We had a discussion about this in the December Rules Committee meeting, and we have addressed the two main problems that some councilors expressed with the previous set of proposed bylaws. We are now requiring a 60% minimum household membership of the at-large organizations, and we have also removed the elected officials from the board of directors, concurrent with the Cantrell decision, and that includes the principal chief. So Councilor Hoskins' objection to the heavy weight towards the executive branch in the board of directors has been addressed. And I received an email from him last night that he has no further objections to this. And so with this, I hope that we have satisfied the concerns that people expressed, and I would move for adoption of these articles of incorporation.
Okay, I have a motion, and for the seconds, any further discussion, any questions for Ms. Coates? Ms. Thornton?
I know yesterday you were saying that this doesn't include any corporation or organization inside the nation. The way this reads, why didn't you just put at large on there?
We can.
Just suggesting.
Yeah.
Because I know that inside the nation it's more.
Right.
60 or what? No, it's less than 60. Yours says 60.
Right.
60.
Yeah, it's actually less than 60.
Council Cashman.
I just want to tell you thank you for talking to me and addressing my concerns.
My pleasure.
All for the question.
I hear a motion, second.
Second.
Yes.
I think Don said this.
Okay, sorry about that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay. I believe that concludes our program, but I do see some, Shay, did you have anything you'd like to say to the audience today?
No, I didn't.
Doug, okay, well, I think we've got everything straight and we finished up right on time. I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.